What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. A lot of people have been asking, are $2,000 stimulus checks actually on their way? Well, according to some, yes. They are on their way. They're just right around the corner. But I want to fill you in on what is actually happening right now. Again, I want to provide you with the truth and the facts regarding what's happening, and not just the fantasy and the potential that we see or we may not see a $2,000 stimulus check. I just want to be real. I just want to be honest so that I don't get your hopes up, but at the same time I provide the truth and the facts so that you can make these decisions on your own. Now, here's what we know. Earlier today, the House, they passed a $2,000 stimulus check amendment. A $2,000 stimulus check amendment is good. It's a good start, but it only passed through the House. It still has to pass through the Senate and be signed into law by President Trump. It passed through the House. That's the first step. The second step, we already know the third step is passing and getting the signature from President Trump. We know that's going to happen if it ever makes it to his desk. The issue is we have to go through the second step, which is getting the stimulus amendment, this $2,000 amendment, signed and passed by the Senate. This is the issue. Now, earlier today, I stated that the $2,000 stimulus check amendment was easily going to pass through the House. We knew that. It was going to pass by 2/3 majority, and it did. But that's not the big news. That's not the huge stimulus check update. That's not it. The huge news is actually breaking down the numbers and seeing how Republicans voted and Democrats voted. That's the big news. So let's break down these numbers. First, Democrats voted 231 yay and 2 nay. So only 2 people said no, they did not support this. Now, we knew almost all Democrats were going to support that $2,000 stimulus check amendment. But the real question here is, how did the Republicans vote? That's the question. I say this. Remember, I told you this earlier as well. If we see potentially 30, right around 30 to 40 Republicans, I can't remember the exact number that I used earlier today, but I was always saying it was between like 30 and 40 Republicans would put enough pressure on Mitch McConnell to potentially put the bill on the floor for a vote and just see if they have the numbers. And maybe not even go as far as putting the bill on the floor, but asking the Republican senators and see, hey, would you support this? Would you support this? Just earlier today, we heard from Marco Rubio. He stated, from Florida, who's a Republican, he stated he would support this. He would vote yes. He'd vote yay. So, here's what we know. As far as the Republicans in the House, here's how they voted. 44 said yay. 44 voted yay. And 139 nay. So this means 22% of Republicans in the House voted and said they would support the stimulus proposal or the stimulus amendment. That is good. If we take the exact same numbers, the exact same percentage, that 22%, and we apply it to the members in the Senate, remember there's 53 Senate Republicans. Now, if we take this exact same number, then we have 11 Republicans that would vote yes, that would support this. Again, this isn't technically apples to apples. This is more apples to oranges, but you get the idea. If we just take the exact same percentage, which could be fairly accurate, some people say, but now what you need to understand here is there's 45 Democrats in the Senate. There's 2 independents that side with Democrats. So that brings us to 47 there that already will vote yes. And then we have the 11 from the 22% of the 53 Republicans. So that's 11. That brings us to a total of 58. 58 people that support this bill. In order to get a bill passed through the Senate, it has to receive at least 60 votes. So we're 2 votes shy, and that's just using rough numbers. So this is potentially going to pass through the Senate if the bill ever sees the floor. But as of right now, most people don't expect Mitch McConnell to just come out tomorrow and put the bill on the floor and say, let's vote for it. Most don't expect that to happen. Could it happen? Yes. Will it happen? It's a different story. Now, these numbers are encouraging for a $2,000 stimulus check, but this is not an overwhelming majority that would really put the pressure on Mitch McConnell. I think it will help a little bit. I think it's going to push him and nudge him in the right direction. But again, who knows how his vacation went? Who knows how his recess went? It was probably up and down because of what President Trump did. So is he likely to put this on the floor for a vote? No. Will he consider it? Yes, I believe so. Now, earlier today, I also warned you guys on something that could potentially happen. And what I said, and I warned you about this, and I'll get to this in just a second, but this is exactly what Kevin Brady came out and said earlier today. He said that he believes Congress needs to take a pause and see where the current stimulus package takes the economy, and then come back in a month and they can reevaluate and see and regroup and see where they could provide the most or the best stimulus moving forward. But here's the issue. Remember, this is what Republicans kept saying back in June. They said this in July. They said this in August. And we got sick and tired of hearing about, let's wait and see. Nobody wanted to hear that, wait and see. And now, Kevin Brady's saying, let's take a pause. Nobody wants to take a pause, I guarantee that. Well, Republicans might. But the American people don't want to take a pause. COVID is not taking a pause. Your rent payments are not on pause. Because at some point, you have to go and pay that. Your car loan. No, you tell the repo man that now Congress is taking a pause. You can't take my car. They're going to laugh at you and they're going to take your car. Guarantee it. Now, many top-level economists warned that if Congress didn't provide stimulus soon, and this was back in June, if they didn't provide stimulus soon, the economy would be worse off and it would require a larger stimulus sometime in the future. Well, that's currently where we're at. $900 billion would have been great in May and in June and July. But once we got into August and unemployment benefits, expired, that $600 per week expired. Once we got into September and October and November and now December, $900 billion is just not going to cut it. That's what many economists are saying. They're saying now that a lot of economists are predicting we need at least $2.5 trillion. That's almost 3 times the amount that we got. In order to get back to pre-pandemic levels, $2.5 trillion. That's a lot of money. It's a big gap between $900 billion where Republicans are currently at and $2.5 billion where economists say we need to be. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening with a Republican-controlled Senate. I honestly don't even see that happening with Democrats just getting to 50-50 in the Senate or even 51-50 with the help of Kamala Harris. It's going to be a tough ask. It's going to be a big task, but we'll see what happens. And again, that's not even something that we can say is for sure, because right now, the last report that we saw shows in the Georgia Senate runoff, 1 seat is going to go Democrat, 1 seat is going to go Republican, which means Mitch McConnell will still be the Senate majority leader. Republicans will still hold the majority in the Senate. So right now, it's not like a guarantee that, $2,000 stimulus checks, yep, that's coming. Or a $2.5 trillion stimulus package, yep, it's on the way. No, that's not coming. That's not what we're going to see. There's still a lot of work to be done. Now, on the flip side of all that, on the flip side of what Kevin Brady had to say, where he says, let's take a pause, now we have Bernie Sanders coming out today. Yeah, he comes out every single day. He lets us know what he's thinking, how he feels, and what the Senate should do. So here's what we know. On the flip side, we have Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders said, and he's always been a huge proponent of the $2,000 stimulus check. He talked about this months ago. He brought this up with, I believe, another senator. I don't remember who exactly it was, and also Kamala Harris. And he even advocated for $2,000 per month. That's what we needed, $2,000 per month. That's what Canada got. Other countries have seen way more than we have. Australia, I believe, they got close to $30,000. They're like $28,000 that they've received in the time that they've been shut down. And here in the United States, we had $1,200. Now we have $1,600 or $600, $1,800, and they're up to like almost $30,000. It's a big difference. Here's what Bernie Sanders had to say regarding the defense bill veto override today. He said, McConnell and the Senate want to expedite the override vote, and I understand that, but I'm not going to allow that to happen unless there is a vote, no matter how long it takes, on the $2,000 direct payment. Now, I just want to be clear. Even though Bernie Sanders says he's not going to let that happen, he's going to filibuster this. However, that's only going to delay the vote. It's not going to call it off. Bernie Sanders himself, all alone, acting as a one-man show, cannot block this override vote, this override veto. It just can't happen. But he can delay this. This means between now and I believe it's like New Year's Day is how long he can filibuster this for. But between now and then, my guess, because I believe the Senate is going to come out and vote on this tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. It might be Wednesday. I believe it's tomorrow on Tuesday. But this means there will be more talks between now and New Year's Day, which is coming up. We're only a few days away. So it's coming up. It's going to happen. The vote will happen. Most likely it will get passed. And so we'll see what happens there. But he's going to do his best. He's going to try, and he's going to see what happens. He's going to delay the vote. And this could get more talks on the $2,000 stimulus check. It could just make the Senate very upset. But remember, Bernie Sanders said he wasn't going to vote on a continuing resolution unless, and this was last time, unless we talked about that $2,000 stimulus check. I believe it was $1,200 at that time. But then he ultimately decided, you know what, I'm going to withdraw my rejection, going to keep the government funded, because the Senate and Mitch McConnell promised we will continue these talks. We will make sure that he has a platform where he can, pretty much ask for that $1,200 stimulus check. So my guess at this point is the Senate will not even entertain the idea of a $2,000 stimulus check until either more Republicans come out publicly and state that they support that $2,000 stimulus check, or, and this is the big one, or they will wait until after the January 5th Georgia Senate runoff and see what happens there. If Democrats were to win both seats, most likely Republicans would jump on board with the $2,000 stimulus check if we see liability protections, if we see Section 230 repealed, and there could be other demands there as well. But this is what's going to get the next stimulus package rolling, even before Joe Biden potentially takes office. So, now, while we wait for this $2,000 stimulus check that may or may not ever come to light, I think we will see something bigger than $600. I think we'll be closer to about $1,200. Is $2,000 possible? It is. It's entirely possible. I just see it's more likely that Republicans jump on board with a $1,200 to $1,400 stimulus check that will be, combined with the $600 now. It's going to bring us under $2,000. I think that's more likely than $600 now, and on top of that, an additional $2,000. I just don't see that happening at this point, but it would be great. Now, being that this bill, or this proposal, this stimulus check, this $2,000 stimulus check, may or may not ever happen, I want to be clear. I want you to be focused on what is actually out there and what's attainable. Right now, we have a lot of stimulus that will be coming our way. Now, when I say a lot, there's different things, there's variations, there's different stuff out there. Not like $600 is a lot of money. It is to many people, but $600 is not going to pay your rent for 6 months or 8 months that we've been in this pandemic. It's not going to pay your car loans or your credit card bill that you had to rack up just to survive. It's not going to do that. It's not going to pay those big bills. But we do have rental assistance that's coming very soon. It's going to be on every single state to set up their own system. So here's what I recommend. Call the housing authority in your local area and see, do you know when we'll have this set up? Has the state said anything yet? And if you can, get in early. I highly recommend you get in as early as possible, because it's only $25 billion. Once it's gone, it's gone. We also have the EIDL loans. This is for people with a side hustle. If you have a side hustle you sell on eBay, you, let's say, make YouTube videos and you got paid a penny, that's still a side hustle. let's say you are an affiliate marketer, you have a multi-level marketing business like, Avon, or Advocare, or some other one. You are a stock trader, you trade stocks for a living, or you buy and sell Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. If that's the case, you have a side hustle. Maybe you drive for Uber, or DoorDash or something. If that's the case, okay, if you do this and you have a side hustle, you can receive $1,000 for free through the EIDL loan, and you can get a $1,000 free cash advance, which means you don't have to go and get the loan. You can just deny the loan and say, I don't want the loan, I just want the cash advance. And they'll give it to you. This is through the SBA. So if you don't know about that, I'll put a link down in the description box below where I show you in the video. I mainly made this for seniors, but it's applicable to everybody. So go and look down below. It's a free $1,000 stimulus check for seniors. Go and look down in the description box below and you can go and see that video, and I explain the whole thing. Again, this isn't, I don't believe it's open yet. The portal's open on the SBA.gov, but you can go and look. If it is open, go and apply. Again, this money will run out, and once it's gone, it's gone. We also have the $600 stimulus check, which is great. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. We also have more food assistance. We also have states now are available or are able to extend their CARES Act funding. So it's not use it or lose it by the end of 2020. Now states have more time to allocate those funds if they still have them available. So because of that, some states will be doing what they can to provide for their residents. So that's really good there. Now, there's going to be a lot more updates coming out as to, what is coming, what can we see, when will we see that EIDL loan, when are we going to see the unemployment benefits, when are stimulus checks actually showing up at our bank accounts, what if you don't get your stimulus check or it's being delayed, what can you do there? I'm going to provide you all these updates. I made it very clear the other day that I'm going to provide more information on how to make money online and from home, how to save money, how to be more frugal, and all those things. So I am still going to do that, but at the same time, there's still so much information for you guys for the stimulus package, the stimulus, checks coming out, unemployment benefits, and so on. So I don't want to miss a thing. I want to provide you as much information about all these different programs so you can decide which ones are best for you and which ones are you eligible to get. So that's my promise to you. Make sure you come back or consider subscribing, and also click that little notification bell so you don't miss any more of the stimulus updates or any videos that I publish. Sometimes YouTube isn't the best at actually, telling you when I release a new video, so make sure you go and do that. Subscribe, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.